AITA for saying, "You should have thought about that before you procreated." My ex and I have a 13-year-old daughter, Nicole. Nicole has several medical conditions that require a lot of attention. She will need some sort of in-home assistance for the rest of her life. While we have an aide to help a couple of days a week, it is still a challenge. The outcome of Nicole's condition became clear when she was 2. At that point, my ex and I agreed we wouldn't have more kids because it wouldn't be fair to anyone. There'd be no way we could focus attention on 2 kids. Someone would lose out in this situation. We divorced when Nicole was 5. We originally had 50-50 custody. 3 years later, my ex remarried. His new wife, Callie, is nice. My ex did say that she didn't understand the severity of Nicole's condition. I figured there was a learning curve. Eventually, Callie basically said she wanted to be hands-off, which I respected, though I wondered how it'd work considering Nicole lives with them half the time. Last year, my ex and Callie had a baby. I was a little surprised given my ex was always firm on not having more kids but figured it wasn't any of my business. He did begin to complain that it was a lot of work juggling Nicole and the baby. I sympathized but really didn't know what else to say. Recently, the venting got worse. He said Callie yelled at him for taking Nicole to her physical therapy appointment instead of helping her with the baby. He brought up potentially having Nicole stay with me more. I wasn't entirely shocked but it pissed me off. I said Nicole was his daughter. He can't just abandon that responsibility. He asked what he was supposed to do about the baby. I said, maybe you should have thought of that before you procreated? I mean, really. We discussed this 10 years ago as to why it'd be hard to juggle 2 kids. Why did you think having another would be a good idea? He got quiet and said Callie wanted a baby. I said that isn't enough of a reason and maybe he should have thought harder before bringing more life into this world. The conversation ended with me saying I'd call my lawyer and we could arrange for him to have less custody as I'd rather my daughter be properly cared for than be viewed as a burden. Callie called me that night very upset that I had made my ex cry and that I said her baby shouldn't exist. I said that's not what I said completely. More that they didn't think it through. She called me a jerk. AITA? I assume Callie had this dream of Nicole magically disappearing over to your place, so she and ex can have just their happy new trio. You are absolutely correct to hold him accountable, especially if Nicole has the mental capacity to be aware she's being shut out. NTA. It's the truth and honestly Callie is the one in the wrong. If Nicole is with them and needs to be somewhere then her father had better take her and Callie can deal with the baby. NTA. I'd go to the lawyer who originally handled the divorce if you had one and basically tell them what's going on. Say you want an increase in child support if you're getting it for your ex being more hands-off or your ex continues giving the same amount of care. Once it gets before a judge, tell them the same thing you told us and the lawyer and that it's non-negotiable. More money or your ex's involvement remains the same. Up to your ex and the judge. NTA. A lot of people don't want to hear, you should be practical, when it comes to having more children. But goddamn it should be said way more often. Hold their asses accountable. It's his daughter and Callie chose to marry him knowing he had a special needs daughter. If she didn't fully understand the situation, that's on her. Those are questions that should be asked and answers that should be understood before saying, I do. Get custody and get child support. NTA. The second Callie insisted on being hands-off with Nicole, that should have been a red flag location flag to your idiot ex. He married someone who told him she wants nothing to do with his kid and he thought having a baby with her was smart? Apparently Callie also didn't understand how much work a baby is. She is that self-centered dingbat who had a kid thinking it would be all baby cuddles and cute matching outfits, and found out instead that it's work. NTA in any possible way. He FAFO. Make sure any support is adjusted as well. If he's putting less effort, he needs to pay to compensate, and push for the maximum possible. NTA. He's finding out that the decision long ago was the right one. He needs to understand that he made the choice to have another child, but he still has a huge responsibility to his first one. He can't just push her aside. Go after full custody and all the child support the law allows. You're going to need it for your daughter's care for the rest of her life. I'd feel bad for Nicole though if her dad just leaves her life though, since you said Nicole lives with them half the time. She's 13. Definitely old enough to know that she used to see dad a lot and now suddenly he's never around. Maybe it turns into 60/40 custody or something. But I hope he stays in her life even if it is less than it was originally. NTA. Your ex and Callie sound like immature and thoughtless people. I'd prepare to be Nicole's main caretaker. Hopefully it doesn't come to this. But it's best to not be caught off guard if your ex decides to not take care of Nicole. NTA. Make sure that lawyer gets you some child support since you'll be taking more than 50-50 custody. NTA. You had every right to say what you did. Callie wants to be hands-off? Let her butt out. NTA. He can be hands-off but make sure he financially covers not only child support but his share of of her medical needs. I was the baby with a disability, so I know how hard it was for my parents raising me. Because of this that I am the only child now. Your ex is an irresponsible person. If he wanted more children, cool, but he have to understand that he already have a commitment with one child that he choose to put in the world. He complaining will change nothing. What he will do? Abandoning his child just because it's an inconvenience to his new life? He is an awful parent. Get his ass sued for more child support and get full custody too. NTA. Yeah, I saw the top comment and that was my immediate thought. Callie thought that your daughter would disappear from her life when she had her own baby. Well, if you end up with full custody, make sure good ex pays you much more in child support. You will see how his wife likes that. Kaye was jealous of Nicole having so much of your ex's attention, so of course she wanted a baby ASAP. Because that would mean ex would choose her instead of Nicole. They shouldn't have procreated because your ex knew it would be hard and unfair. And they shouldn't have procreated because I'm sure they did it for the wrong reasons. NTA. And I'm so sorry for Nicole. Because now someone will have to explain to her why she doesn't spend so much time with her dad anymore. All the love to you and your daughter from a stranger from the internet. NTA. He's trying to shift his responsibilities onto you. You were wrong in saying he should have thought of that before he procreated. He should have thought of that when Callie proved she wanted nothing to do with your daughter. She wants Nicole out of their lives. I'm willing to bet good money she says some really horrible things about your daughter to her friends and family. And if she doesn't say them, she certainly thinks them very loudly. The fact Callie didn't believe him about the level of Nicole's disability at first, and then claimed she wanted nothing to do with her, is proof to me that when Callie had a child, she would begin to demand your ex focus on their baby. Cutting out Nicole. Callie's gonna use this as further ammunition against you. And by extension, Nicole. I understand that your ex has to do his share. But you really need to think long and hard about whether you want to leave your disabled child in a household with a person who hates her and will encourage her husband to neglect Nicole in favor of their new baby. And who knows what she will encourage their child to do to Nicole as they get older. NTA. But you need to figure something out with your ex. Either call him out on Callie's consistent lack of concern for Nicole and try to force an intervention. Or tell him he's lost all parental rights as he clearly only cares for his new family and you cannot trust any of them around your disabled daughter. Don't let Callie's problems become yours. NTA with your attorney. I would place a very high priority on funding your daughter's care when you can't handle it any longer. Being a primary caregiver 100% of the time will crush you. Even 1 week per quarter or 6 months or even a year allows you to recharge the batteries. NTA when you contact your lawyer, I hope you also discuss higher child support payments. Sounds like someone is getting child support. Make the man pay in exchange for pawning her off.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.